Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be why the narcissist waited so long. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So why the narcissist waited so long to end the relationship? This is a question I get so frequently, and there are many reasons why. The first is because the narcissist had taken from you virtually everything they could, which again meant your time, your energy, your love, empathy, everything I talk about on the channel, but they had taken virtually everything. There was nothing left for you to give. That would be one reason why, and I'll jump back into that in a moment. Another reason why they waited so long to end the relationship, if they did, would be because they had a new source of supply, and they had somebody lined up, waiting in the wings, your replacement, if you will. Remember, before you met the narcissist, you were the new supply, and they had left another individual, most likely, and they went on to the relationship with you. So the second reason why they would wait so long is because they groomed the new supply, and the new supply was ready to step up to the plate and enter into the relationship. Another reason why they waited so long was because, and this is a big one, all of these are big ones, but this is a really big one also, it's because your health. It probably took a hit. You probably had some medical concerns or health issues that you did not have in the past, and these were mounting, and the narcissist was watching you and your health deteriorate. Now keep in mind, many times when you're in the narcissistic relationship, your health does decline. It certainly doesn't improve, but when it declines, many times it's because of the pressure placed on you in that narcissistic relationship, because every day when you wake up, you don't know if you're coming or going. You're being gaslit, you're being given the silent treatment, you are being triangulated. My least favorite thing these people do, you're enduring the smear campaign. Everything is taking a hit, all of your resources, your credibility, your believability, your money, time, your effort, your social circle, your status, your jobs, your hobbies. Everything was taking a hit because the narcissist was laying on that gas pedal of abuse, and they were dipping you in that deep end of destruction, and they were having you exist in the narcissistic fog. This is a place that was unknown to you. It was foreign territory to you, but it was a place that the narcissist was too familiar with, because they had placed other people in the narcissistic fog or the devaluation stage before they placed you there. The narcissist needs multiple sources of supply, and I'm not referring to just romantic relationships. I'm referring to people, because to the narcissist, every person is an opportunity. Every person at one point was a new shiny object. Every person was a person to manipulate and to take advantage of. And every person was a new clean slate when they didn't know anything about narcissism that they could play the victim card to. And the narcissist also wears many different masks. The mask you saw was custom made for you. The narcissist also has different masks for different sources of supply, different events, different locations, for different people they communicate with. Example, they're going to treat their mom or dad differently than they're going to treat you. Not always, but many times. And they'll treat the new supply differently than they treated you in the beginning, because the new supply, side note, pro tip, they're not who you are. Maybe their hobbies are different than yours were. Maybe the new supply likes to sit at home and watch movies and read books and barbecue. Well, maybe you didn't like to do those things, but what the narcissist will do is they will assimilate themselves with anybody, and the new supply is at the top of that list, because they want to have the new supply put their guard down and extract as much from the new supply as they could. That's what they did with you. Now, getting back on track, why the narcissist waited so long? Because when you were in that relationship with them, let's say that you were married as an example, although you didn't have to be, but let's say you were for this part of the video. Well, what did they do? They had you believe in the dream. They had you believe that you would grow old together. They had you believe that they were similar to you and that they had your best interest at heart. They also had you believe that you would be doing everything you could to improve the relationship and to keep it stable and healthy, and that you built a relationship on trust. The narcissist doesn't know what trust is. What the narcissist knows is how to abuse and manipulate people and to place them in that narcissistic fog. So again, when you were in that relationship, let's say you were married, the narcissist was playing the long game. They weren't in that for a little period of time, most likely. They were looking at you, seeing how much money you were making, how your health was holding up, what you could provide for them, maybe beach trips all around the globe, or maybe timeshares or properties or vacations, or buying them lavish gifts like clothes and cars, etc. And they were looking at this and they were seeing where you were in that relationship. They were watching you and they were testing your pulse, testing if you were believing in the mask, testing if you were wising up, testing if there was more they could take away from you. So when you're in the relationship, and again, for this part of the video, I'm using a marriage, but it doesn't have to be. It could be a mom, dad, aunt, uncle, brother, coworker, sibling, neighbor, colleague, person in a hobby group or community that you are and or were a part of. But when you were in that relationship, you were in love with the narcissist. The narcissist was never in love with you. The narcissist knew you were way before you had any idea about who you are. Meaning many people I work with during one-on-one sessions, they're getting light bulb moments and they're understanding just how important and valuable and rare and precious they are, that they actually are a beautiful, bright, shining light. And that's how they fell into the narcissistic relationship or relationships, because the narcissist was looking at their level of empathy, kindness, love, not wanting to quit, commitment, dedication, resilience. And also they're looking at these people's way that they would go with the narcissist. In other words, they wouldn't put up a boundary. They would be kind and they would agree to what the narcissist wanted to do many times. Let's take an example. Let's say that you were in the marriage with the narcissist and they wanted home improvements. Well, you probably dropped everything you were doing to get those done. Maybe a new addition on the house. Maybe you were making a certain room an office or something, or maybe that you were doing something, remodeling the kitchen, etc. What you were doing back then when you were remodeling was, of course, you're trying to improve your house's worth and how you use it and everything and upgrade things, but you were doing it to appease the narcissist, and they were watching you do this. They were the puppet master and you were the puppet. So again, why the narcissist waited so long is because when your resources are depleted, they're defunct, you don't have any more money, and your health has taken a massive hit, and your network of friends has been blown up because the narcissist drove wedges between you and anything that mattered to you, which did include your network or the people you worked with. When these things are happening and you couple in the fact that the narcissist behind the scenes was grooming and working on the new supply or your replacement, this is a very, very daunting position to be in. Couple it with the fact that you didn't know what narcissism was, and you didn't ever in a million years believe that the person that you loved did not have your best interest at heart, and they were trying to throw a monkey wrench into any relationship that you were a part of. They were trying to not have you exist. They were trying to not have you live properly. They didn't want to lift a finger to help you out. They wanted to inflict as much damage upon you. Now, many of these things I'm sharing in this video are little tough pills to swallow, I get it, but it's reality. And these relationships are the most challenging relationships known to humankind. That's why these are the relationships, i.e. the narcissistic relationship, that you must heal from. You can't just go back out in the world as if nothing ever happened, because there's been a lot of damage inflicted upon you, and you must take your time, slow your life down, process things, heal childhood wounds, journal, see a therapist, watch videos, write, and slow your life down and understand that this almost took you down for the count, but it didn't. And here you are, and you're paying it forward, or you're getting your cup full, and you're really insulating yourself. You're in that cocoon of boundaries. And why I'm saying all these things is the narcissist was playing the long game when they were in that relationship with you. They did not want to do anything other than to slowly bleed you dry of your resources. Again, let's say that the narcissist was your mom or your dad. And no, let's say this one. Let's say the narcissist was one of your children who turns out to be an adult child. Maybe they're in their 30s or 40s or 50s, who knows? Well, that person, perhaps you've been, and they are the narcissist, perhaps you've been taking care of them your whole life. You've been giving them money, putting a roof over their head. You've been giving them a place to live, etc. Well, have they improved their circumstances or their life? No. But what did they do? They guilted you into providing things for them. They guilted you into giving them money or a house, etc., or buy them cars and things. Because you see, these people, i.e. the narcissists, they don't want to do anything for themselves. They want to take, and take. And when they're done, what do they want to do? That's right, they want to take more. So if your adult child turned out to be a toxic narcissist and you were supplying them with money and empathy, and you kept giving them chances over and over and over again, eventually you either wised up and you cut off the money train and they had to figure out how to provide for themselves, which is what my hope is what you did do, or you kept on giving them money and you realized that you're not improving their life. All you're doing is putting a Band-Aid over their circumstances, and next month they're going to ask you for more money, and then next month more and more and more, and eventually you will have no money and they will have spent all of your money or blown it or lost it, whatever they did, and then you're going to be in just a bad place that they are. Only difference is you're not the narcissist, they are. So these examples I'm sharing with you, is there are so many of them. Why the narcissist waited so long? It's because they needed a host. They are a parasite. They needed a host to improve their circumstances or catapult them through a period of life, which was the length of your relationship. Now, maybe your relationship was a few months, maybe it was a year, maybe it was 5 or 6 years, maybe it was a decade or 2 or 3 decades. But whatever length of that relationship was, that is how long the narcissist was wanting to string you along and to keep you believing in the mask, having you do things for them, which does and did include being the unpaid helper, the walking apology, the sounding board, the person who would regulate them, the person who cooked, cleaned, drove, bought groceries, paid for groceries, who did everything for the narcissist. And this is what the narcissist needed. This is what they need right now if they're still on the planet somewhere. And this is what they will always need. They need someone to put below their shoe, to devalue and to have do things for them, and to elevate themselves. That's why the narcissist feels entitled. That's why the narcissist believes that they're smarter than you, stronger than you, more beautiful than you, more intelligent than you, etc. That's also why the narcissist believes that you will never catch on to them. You will never figure out who they are. And that's why the narcissist every once in a while will give you a little breadcrumb of hope, a little breadcrumb of fakeness, a little breadcrumb of fake love or empathy, because they're trying to keep you around longer and longer, hoping you wouldn't figure them out. Now, all of these things I'm mentioning, people still sometimes can't wrap their head around why the narcissist waited so long. Why did they wait 10 or 20 years? Well, probably another reason would be this. Maybe the children have grown up. They're through college or university now, and the narcissist has squirreled away a lot of your money, or some of the investments that they invested in paid off, or now the house is worth 2 or 3 times what it used to be worth, or now they have a new supply with even more money than you, or now they have new hobbies or groups or things that they're getting supply from, and they don't need your source of supply any longer. And there's a whole different element here. Remember, the narcissist doesn't just go away and slither off into the darkness and wish you the best. It's quite the opposite. They slither away, that's correct, but they want to inflict as much damage upon anybody they possibly can, which includes their spouses, their children, their moms, dads, aunts, uncles, etc., colleagues, coworkers. This is why it's very, very challenging, to say the least, if you experience the discard. If you did, my heart goes out to you. If you had to end the relationship yourself, my heart still goes out to you. Either way, it was a very challenging, painful, draining relationship, being in a narcissistic relationship. But what they want to do many times when they discard you or discard people is they want to crumble you up like a sheet of paper, throw you away on the freeway, and hope that you are not going to be strong enough to survive, and hope that you're not going to have a support system, and hope that you're not going to see behind the mask, and hope that they could use your misery to catapult them onto the new supply. And so, example, if you're stuck and you didn't figure out what narcissism was and you were discarded, well, first of all, you're in a very, very vulnerable position. Number 2 is, did the narcissist know what they had done to you? Absolutely. They had done it before. But number 3, they were watching you from afar, and they were looking and saying to the new supply, see how weak this person is? See how much they need me? See how much they're texting me and calling me? They can't live without me. This is exactly what the person needs. They're so needy. That's why I had to get rid of them, because they can't do anything on their own. They're so weak and fragile and shallow. Well, the truth is, you were in the trauma bond. You were caught up. You didn't know where you were. And that's what the narcissist did. They placed you in the trauma bond. And the second thing is, the new supply, if they were being shown your texts or phone calls, and I'm sure they were being, the trap was being laid for them. They were going to fall right into the same trap that you fell into. The thing is, you had to focus on yourself, and you had to heal and process things and slow your life down and understand what narcissism was. And just that in and of itself, figuring out what narcissism was and how it affected you for a period of time, that is a very, very big needle in a haystack to find. When you find that, and you did because you're on the channel in the community, you are a fortunate person. You need to now take the lifelong learning lessons from the past. You need to apply the definitions in the glossary on the narcissistic abusive cycle. You need to not predict the future, and you need to live in the present moment, and you need to heal. You really need to slow your life down and heal. But when you found that out, that was the key that you were waiting to figure out, waiting to discover, which is that you were in a relationship with a narcissist. Now, you weren't supposed to figure it out. And remember, they played the long game. They were waiting as long as they possibly could before they inserted the new supply full time. And also, they were watching your health decline, because your health, I'm certain, was declining. They were watching your money go to zero. They were watching you become a shell of yourself. And they were watching you and your energy be defunct or depleted, because they were zapping it and taking it from you. There is an energetic exchange when you are in these narcissistic relationships. The narcissist is looking for a fuel source, and you, the beautiful, bright, shining light that you are, were just that. You were a fuel source. You were providing them energy, and energy is everything that makes you you. It's your skin, it's your time, it's your empathy, It's your ability to reason. It's your ability to make proper decisions. It's your ability to be a sounding board, etc. This is what the narcissist needed. It's what they need now, and it's what they will always need, because the narcissist usually makes very, very poor decisions when they don't have a supply source. I mean, really poor decisions. Many times the narcissist doesn't even know how to pay a credit card bill because they were living on your credit card bill and you were paying it. Many times they don't even know how to pick out a new smartphone. Many times they don't even know how to get their car washed, etc. And you may be sitting, Andrew, that's a little rough. No, it's not. Remember, the narcissist needs people doing things for them, which means that's why so frequently they don't even know how to cook properly at times. Now, this isn't every narcissist. This is just the narcissist that I am referring to, meaning they are all interchangeable. Some narcissists have some skill sets, others don't. But at the end of the day, what they do want is they want people to do things for them. They don't want to lift a finger to help anybody else out. They want people to do things for them. That's why the narcissist is entitled. They believe they're better than others, and they will never change. The narcissist also cannot introspect. They won't be accountable. They won't give you a genuine or heartfelt apology or reasons why they did what they did. They're just going to go on to the new supply. And the narcissist also won't give you closure. So why the narcissist waited so long? It's because of so many reasons. 1, your health was taking a hit. 2, the kids had graduated high school or university. 3, your money ran out. 4, they had a new supply lined up that had brand new resources that they could take from. 5, they had built up a business or something behind the scenes that you didn't know about and they didn't need you any longer. 6, because that relationship was going to end anyway, because every narcissistic relationship has an expiration date. 7 would be because you were probably not the same person. Let me take that back. You definitely were not the same person you were when you entered the relationship, because when you entered it, everything was new for you and you were giving everything to a fault. You probably were a people pleaser or a yes person. I am certain you couldn't say no, the strongest word in the English language, and you didn't have boundaries. And that version is the version of you that the narcissist loved, because you were like putty in their hands. They could mold you any way they wanted to. But as that putty got harder and harder to mold, because your resources became defunct and you probably were catching on, but you didn't know what narcissism was, and maybe you were putting up a boundary or two, they began to say, wait a minute, it's time to insert the new supply, and I need to remove myself from this relationship, and I will make it look any way I possibly can that this person, which was you, is the bad person. That's what they do. And then, of course, they would administer the smear campaign, which was well underway before you even knew what the smear campaign was. It was way too late. The narcissist was playing a game, and the game, they had the advantage in that game the whole time until they didn't. And that's when you got the needle in a haystack. And that's when you really understood that these relationships are toxic, to say the least, and you need to run for the hills and get away from these people as fast as you possibly can once you've identified who they are and what that relationship has the potential to do to you. Because these relationships will not build you up. They will not improve you or your circumstances. They will deteriorate, they will end, they will expire, and they will end with a thud, a crash, a bang. They will not end in a polite or happy or positive way. They will really end in a nasty way. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, no matter where you are on the planet. You are not alone. Remember that. You are not alone. God bless you. I love you all, and I will talk to you tomorrow. And so to answer the question one final time, why did the narcissist wait so long? It's because of everything I mentioned. You were new. You were naive. You didn't have boundaries. You had money. You had health. You could travel the world. You could give them a lifestyle. You could provide for them. And all of that gets old to the narcissist one day. Also, your health, when your health takes a hit, they don't want to be around when people's health takes a hit. And once they have figured out that they've taken everything they can from you, they will either discard you or they will implement the reverse discard. So you end it and they still look like they are the innocent victim and the woe is me in that. Or they will just move on as if you never existed, and they will go on to the new supply. A fresh, clean slate to abuse. That's how the narcissistic abusive cycle goes. It goes around in a loop and around and around and around, and it unfortunately must continue to go around, but without you in the loop and without you in the cycle. Before I close the video, remember, if you have the ability to go no contact, block these people, delete them, and remove all flying monkeys and people associated with them, I strongly suggest you do it. If you can't do it now, do it when you can. And if you're looking to get out of the relationship, create, develop, and execute an exit plan. If not now, when? Understand these relationships only deteriorate. They never improve. I love you all. God bless you, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.